how to create action pane. Action pane in the sense, like for creating button controls, action pane is required. Okay, let's open this particular form first. Employee table form. Now we are learning about how to create action pane. In this action pane, mainly we will create button controls. Now we are also seeing how many types of button controls and what are they, and what are the functionalities of the button controls. All these things we will see in this particular session. Let me tell you one example. First of all, related to action pane. Okay, this is our form, and for the best example, okay, let me open employee form in human resource management. See here, let me change the company. There is no data. Now you can see it is action pane, like this one. This ribbon control now we are creating. In this the entire this control, we can call it as an action pane. In this action pane, worker, payroll, compensation, time, project, these are all action pane tabs. So that first we need to create an action pane. Under that we will create action pane tabs like this: worker, payroll, compensation, like this. Each and every action pane tab contains button groups like personal action, position assignment, versions, personal information. These are all button groups. Each button group contains button controls. So our button controls resides inside the button group. So first of all, we need to create an action pane. After that, we need to create a action pane tab. After that, we need to create a action button control. I mean button group. Inside the button group, start creating button controls. These are all button controls. Totally, button controls are 5 types. That I will explain you. First of all, let me create an action pane. In this form only, I'm going to creating our employee form. Right click on the design. Now you can see action pane. See, action pane is the first control in the form. I mean, in order. Keep it up. Let me rename it. I'm going to rename the control name as form action pane, like this. Form action pane. Okay. In this action pane, I'm creating action pane tab like worker. Okay, I'm creating an action pane tab like worker. I mean this one. Now I'm creating worker type. The name I'm giving worker. Okay, and caption is also I'm giving same like worker. Caption is important. Caption is important. This is the name of the control, but this will show in the user interface. Okay, like in capital letter it is showing, right? Like worker. This one I have provided here in the place of caption. Okay, now inside the action pane tab, we have a personal actions. It is a button group. See, these are all button controls, right? This is the button group name. So now I'm creating a button group inside the worker. Okay, I'm creating a button group. What is the name? Personal actions, right? So the same thing I'm giving, personal actions. but it is name, but we need to provide the caption, personal actions, like this. Now I will create button controls like change position, terminate, change worker employment type, like this. Now in this particular personal actions, now I'm creating button controls. I told you totally 5 types of button controls are there, like button control, command button, drop dialog button, menu button, menu item button. Totally 5 types. Button separator is not a button control, just it is a line in between the button controls. Suppose if we have 3 to 4 button controls, I just want to segregate in bit button controls so that I will keep some heading or some line, then you can use it, button separator. It is not a button control. It is not a clickable object. Okay, fine. These are all clickable objects. Like button control, I can click it. Command button, drop dialog button, menu button, menu item button. Okay, one by one I will explain you all the button controls. First of all, I'm creating a button control. So now what is the use of button control? For what purpose we will use the button control? See, we have totally 5 types of button controls are there. In among 5 types, only for button control we will write business logic. I mean coding is required. When you click on the button control, if you want to execute something, you need to write code. In clicked method, there is a method, right? Here, go to the override, there is a clicked method. In this method, we need to write some business logic. Now when you click on this particular button control, that code will execute and your action will definitely execute. Your task will execute definitely. Okay, that once we get into the coding part, then I will explain you this particular button control functionality. But for button control, definitely we need to write code. Majorly, this button control we will use for some calculations, some data related operations, like I just want to copy data from one table to another table. This kind of requirements mostly. Okay, this kind of requirements we will write on the button control itself. See, one thing, if you want to execute something, when you click on the button control, some business logic, okay, custom business logic, you need to write code, then you can go for the button control. Remaining button controls functionalities are different. Button control functionality is different. Okay, okay, let me change the name of the button control, like I'm giving something like sample button. Okay, sample button, copy the name. For button control, it has a text property. Button group, action pane tab, we just set caption, right? Caption is the user interface object. I mean, when you provide caption, it will show in the user interface. For button control, there is no caption kind of thing. For button control, it should be text property, sample space button, like it is a caption. I mean, what kind of text you want to place on the button control? Okay, that is the text property. For button control, text property. For remaining controls like a tab, pages, action pane tab, button group, we have caption property. Okay, now I have created a button control called sample button, right? Okay, let me save the changes. Let me build the project. Synchronization is not required at this moment. I'm just building the project. Once it is built, I'll open and I'll show you. Okay, now you can see uh, there is a worker, personal actions, there is a sample button. Suppose if you create one more button group, it will show beside your personal actions. Okay, that also I will create and I'll show you something like a position assignment button group is there, right? That I will create right now. Position assignment. So again I need to right click on which area, like action pane tab, right? Action worker action pane tab. Inside worker action pane tab I am creating one more button group, position assignment. Position assignment. Copy the name and place it in the place of caption. Position assignment. Inside this particular button group, at least we need to create one button control. Otherwise this control, I mean this particular button group will not show in the user interface. At least one button control should be there. Now I'm creating one button control again here, something like demo button. Okay, demo button control. The same name I'm giving in the play in the property of text. Okay, let's see. Let me execute. Next we will see command button control. Once we completed the X++ programming as like topics, then with that knowledge we can able to write code in the button control clicked method. Once we let, now you can click on the worker, you can see personal actions, position assignments, automatically one line came here in between. This is a default. I have not given anything to separate the button groups. That is default. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to tell you about the next button control called command button. Okay, in personal actions I'm creating one more button control here. I mean in the sample button, in the below the sample button, now I'm creating one more button control, command button. So what is command button? Command button will execute some commands. Which command you want to execute, you just need to set up in the properties window. That's it. No need to write any piece of code. Coding is absolutely not required for this button control. Just you need to set up the property. That's it. What kind of action you want to do when you click on the button control, you need to set that action in the property. You need to set that action in the command property. There is a command property will be there here. In the command property, you need to select the appropriate action. Now first rename it. Okay, don't forget to rename the control. For example, hire worker. Okay, when you click on the button control, I just want to create a new worker. That's what I'm creating. Hire worker, something like. Copy the name, place in the text property. Hire space worker. See, captions, text property will have a spaces, but in the name control we cannot give any space. System will not accept the spaces in the name property. Okay, hire worker. Now when I click on the hire worker button, what I need to do, I need to create a new record. So that I need to select new property here, new option. Scroll up. See here, there is a new. Now I have selected the command called new. Okay, let's save the changes, build the project. Let me execute. We'll see when you click on the hire worker button, what is happening. Okay, now when you click on hire worker, see automatically creating a record in the grid. Okay, that is called command button. Now I'll create one more command button in the position assignment button group. Position assignment. Now expand the position assignment. Now I'm creating one more command button here for delete purpose. Delete worker. Delete worker. And in command property, I'm selecting delete record. See here, there is a delete record command is there. That command I'm selecting so that system will execute the delete record option. Let me execute. Build and execute every time. Okay. This is about command property. You just need to select the command. That's it. What exactly you want to execute. Simply. No need to write any business logic for this command button. But for button control, we need to write in clicked method.
Um, so yeah, hello.
Tell me.
Do we know which command button to use? Like, do we have like a list of all the actions which will be performed if we select this command?
We don't have any that kind of description is there, but we need to search in the Microsoft website. I don't find that one.
Yeah. We should know the limitations, right?
Exactly, that's what. But we don't have anything in the Microsoft website even, because there are thousands of functionalities will be there, maybe.
Oh,
So, but practically we need to see that is only the thing. See here, there is a delete worker. For example, I'm selecting 101, clicking on delete worker. See, it is prompting. Are you sure you want to delete the market record? When you click on yes, automatically the record will be deleted.
yeah.
The same here, there is a new button, there is a delete button. These functionalities I have replicated here. Hire worker, delete worker. The original functionalities I have replicated here. That is what command button. Command button will execute like keyboard commands, like mouse commands, whatever it is, like built-in commands. Okay, guys.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, now coming to the button controls. Now we have seen about command button, right? Now the next button control I'm going to tell you about menu button. Like in personal actions itself, I'm creating a personal actions name. In position assignments, I'm creating a button control called menu button. Okay, drop dialog button and a menu item button we will discuss later point of time, because we required something about we required a few more things to discuss about these two controls, drop dialog button and menu item button. We need to cover some more topics. Then only you can understand about drop dialog button and menu item button. Meanwhile, we will complete about menu button. Menu button having a list of items. Suppose when you click on the button control, it will drop some of the list of items menu. Okay. For example, something like I'm giving personal information. The name I have given personal information, and the text also I'm giving the same personal information. In this personal information menu button, I'm creating again button control. I can create a command button. I can create a menu item button. Now I'm creating a button control inside the menu button. Something like calculate leaves. Okay. Again, I'm creating one more command, one more button control. Something like calculate loans. The text I'm giving same calculate loans, and one more command button or whatever it is. You just need, you can create anything like bank accounts, something like the text I'm giving same like bank accounts. Okay, fine. Now let's build the project. Let's provide the, let's execute. We'll see. Okay, now you can see here there is a personal information button is there. Calculate leaves, calculate loans, bank accounts, but we need to apply the functionalities inside the button controls. In a single button control, I can able to set up multiple controls. That is called menu button. Okay, I think you understood about this menu button. Now this is all about action pane.